Well, I had an amazing thing. I went up to check on Margaret and said she felt pretty good. I helped her do a chore or two and said, "Why don't you go back down for another hour? And I'm just going to continue to rest." I said, "Are you sure?" She goes, "Oh, yeah, it's fine. You can come back in an hour, 5:30. Outstanding. So I'm back. This print is supposed to be done in 45 minutes. I've cut the density of it down to 5% infill, which is pretty thin. On the other hand, I'm just using this for a test fit. I've made a number of changes to the part to support the stepper motor on the mini mill. So let's see what that looks like later. What I have here, if I can get it up the screen, yeah, there we go. There's the X and Y version of this. The difference is the offset of the mounting holes. If I put this, say, to the top, look at straight down, you can see these mounting holes are a little high and these mounting holes are a little low, and one of them goes inverted, and that's the reason for that. And I learned a trick. I don't know if you saw this or not, but if I tilt these a little bit, you see these green lines here. These are center lines. Let's pick this one here. Let's say I want to know the center of that hole. I can go up to construct, and I can go down to where it says axis through a cylinder, a cone, or a torus, and I go here and I go click, bingo. I now have a center line. Now, if I wanted to know how far that center is from that center, let's pick a line. And let's say, let's do an inspection and let's measure from this surface to this center line, and it's 23 millimeters. Now, what's the center, this surface to the center of this center line? 21. So it's 2 millimeters lower, closer to the bottom. And that's where we wanted it. Isn't that neat? And in fact, I had to move these holes to create this. I made this one out of this one, and this one was down 2, so I pushed it up 4, and that's how I got that dimension. And there you go. I learned a trick, and so did you. So anyway, we're doing CAD. This is the part that I print, and then it comes over here, and you can't see it. I don't know why, where it went. Anyway, it was there a minute ago. Oh, there's multiples of it. I see. There it is. Oh, that's showing you where it's at on the print process. It's being printed now. And it's being printed really fast. Let's see what it says on my spec sheet here, because I cranked it up. I want to get this thing done. Well, it's not printing so fast, is it? About 100 millimeters a second is the tops. It's just moving about 50%. The thing is, it doesn't have enough room to accelerate. We don't have any long straights where it could accelerate. But still, getting this part done in an hour is going to be pretty good. Well, it looks like more. It's been 34 minutes. I got 43 to go, so it's going to be an hour and 15. It's going to be done at 5:30. Oh, no. That's right when I have to go up, so it won't be done in time. Well, let me show you the progress on the bearing assemblies for the XY table. I removed the XY table from this spacer, and I started putting the bushings and bearings into the end caps here. This one is almost done, but I'm working on the Y now. This Y end is done, and it's got a nylon locking nut in the end, so it won't unscrew. This just has a regular screw, and I put these washers here to mimic the thickness of the real washer when I get it, so I'll know how thick it's going to be, and that's how I determine how long to make this part. And I'm just going to show you real quick. Look at that. Ooh, it's so smooth. Not only is it smooth, but if you look at it, there's no backlash. There's like zero backlash. It's very, very smooth and tight. So there's no slop. If the motor stops and goes the other direction, you go 1 millimeter, 1 millimeter, it'll be right back where it was. Very good. Now with this one, I have to cut this off about here. I'm going to cut this off about here because then this needs to slide into that, see? Or it's going to slide in like that. This could be half of this coupler, okay? The other thing I have to do is I have to do a little nibble off the end of this guy because he needs to come back. His locking set screw goes there, and he's going to poke in too far. He won't have enough room for the other guy. We got to cut this in half just about. So if he's into there, I need to cut him between the two black lines, closer to the second black line. That's what I'm going to be doing when I get done making this little video. So I'm going to cut him down to here. I'm going to cut him here, which is an estimate. Then I'm going to wait for my part to get printed, take these screws out, bolt my part on, get rid of this nut and that nut, put the good nut on, then put the piece together and see if the coupler and that will fit, and do I have to trim it some more. I usually cut them a little long out of fear that I cut them too short, because you can't really lengthen these things once they're cut. They're pretty screwed. So these are screws I had to order, and I made it. I hate to even admit, you know, how you can make a mistake. I ordered an M8 thread thinking that's what was in here, because I was watching the video of a guy who did this, but he had a different model. His model was a little different. He did have 8 millimeter diameter, but I did not. I had I guess a cheaper model. I don't know, but mine was like quarter 20 thread, and so I ordered